Good morning. Welcome to Feel Good Flow, a way to get your body warmed up, energized, and ready for the rest of the day. We're going to begin in a seated position. You can sit on the floor. You're welcome to sit in a chair, whatever feels good. So, with the mindset here, setting an intention for this hour to do a practice that makes your body feel really good, and keep tuning into that. If something doesn't feel right, you can always ease back a little bit from that position. You can change altogether and do something else. Just making sure that we're checking in with our body, taking really good care. This gives us an opportunity to really deeply connect to how we're doing, how we're feeling, and to promote wellness in all aspects of ourselves. So we're going to get started in a seated position. If you want to sink down, whatever you're sitting on, I always like to sit on a little cushion or support. Make sure that you're able to really sink into that and deepen the foundation, rooting down through your body in order to rise up through your upper body without a lot of effort. It just happens more naturally as we allow our hips, our legs, and our feet to root down, starting to feel that connection down towards the earth. And as you come up from the earth, noticing your upper body and how you can align it a little bit more. Open the chest, shoulders roll back, head in alignment with the rest of your body. We're going to focus on the breath flowing through, feeling it come in and open and widen through your whole torso. Your ribs expand, your back expands. And on your exhalation, fully releasing. Let's release out through the mouth a few times. Listen to the sound of your breath and how you can lengthen out that exhale. The inhale energizes, the exhale promotes relaxation everywhere. So if you want to continue with that nice long exhale through your mouth. And then as you inhale, breathing in through your nostrils, breathing out through your nose, and seeing if you can connect with that long breath out through your nose. And it's a stronger breath out that you can hear. On the inhale, opening, widening. And on the exhale, maybe doing a little bit of a squeeze through your lower abdominal muscles, your core muscles, squeeze to release more completely that breath out. So again, a stronger breath out that you can hear. Using a little bit of that core activation to squeeze. You can pull, squeeze and pull in. Inhale to open and widen, exhale to more strongly release. We'll do that for 2 more breaths. Helping to wake up your whole body, both energizing and calming. It's a beautiful balance. At the end of this exhalation, you can release that. And we'll do a few gentle neck rolls. So if you'd like to roll your head side to side, just in a half roll, moving slowly with your breath. And the goal to loosen up all the muscles of your neck. So I encourage you to follow your own flow, follow your own breath. do what feels good. So if it does feel good to roll your head right around, then feel free to do that. But try not to follow me too much. I'll make the suggestion for what we're doing generally, especially when we're flowing and moving like this. And you just keep doing what feels good. What you would do maybe even on your own, right? If you wanted to loosen up your neck. And then bringing your head to lift up and center. And we're going to gently turn the head to the side, stretching to the side of the neck. And as you exhale, let's make sure we're sitting up nice and tall. Drop that chin down towards that side. And on your inhale, come back to center, looking over your shoulder, slowly releasing back to center. Turn the head to the other side and then drop down through the chin. Again, we want to make sure we're sitting up nice and tall. And then lift your chin back to center, slowly flowing back. This time, exhaling, dropping your chin down. Inhale, lifting your chin up. We'll do this 3 more times. And you can start to move the rest of your upper body too with this movement, starting to deepen the curves of your spine, bringing more flow to warm up the muscles of your back. That's it. Helping to lubricate all the joints of your spine. It's especially important. We're in the fall, it's getting colder. Especially important to keep our bodies moving, to keep things flowing through. The watery element of our body needs to release more. And we'll come back to center. And we're going to release the legs from this position. If you want to widen them out to the sides. And we'll take a few rotations through the ankles and feet. Again, joint rotations are really important at the beginning, again, to lubricate your joints, to warm up the body. You can flex your toe, point your toes, and then bring your toes back in, extend out through your heels. Do that a couple more times. Good. And then on your next breath in, we're going to slowly reach those arms up. And on the exhale, release. And do that 2 more times. Good. 1 more breath here. Exhaling to release. Breathing in, reaching both arms up. This time connecting your hands right together, reaching a little bit more up, extending it right through your whole upper body. And on this exhalation, you can bend your right knee if you're really tight through the hamstrings, come over. And right away on the next breath in, let's reach back up. And on the next breath out, you can come over the other side. Notice how I'm bending my knees. It's the first kind of the leg stretch of the day. So you want to feel good again. And help to really open and loosen up your whole body. We'll do this about 2 more times. Again, when you're coming up, really reach through, lengthen right through your whole torso. And follow your own breath, follow your own flow. And this time we're going to inhale, come up. Exhale, we're going to come straight forward a little bit. I know this is a tricky position, especially if the pelvic is often in that kind of backwards tilt rotation. But we're going to try to move right from the hips. Again, you can bend your knees to help you align and open right through, right from the hips, bending forward. And on your next breath in, come back up, releasing. And on your next inhale, lifting up again. And exhale, take your arms back this time. And you can rest on your fingertips here and open through your chest. Creating lots of space for your breath to flow through. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Notice how this makes you feel, this position. And then slowly releasing. Just roll the shoulders out a little bit here. If you need to bring your legs out of that position, you can bring the soles together of your feet and just a little bit of movement here with your hips or your legs. And then you can slide your feet out a little bit, come forward. And your next breath in, come back to center. Bring your arms up to your shoulders, your hands onto your shoulders, rolling through your arms. Moving in the opposite direction. And then just a little bit of movement side to side here. It can be a very subtle movement, a little bit of a twisting action to loosen up to more of those muscles of the back. Again, you could be in a chair too. If you find that this positioning on the floor is starting to create a lot of tension, we're going to come out of this seat right away, but always do any of this stuff on the chair. And then we're going to release, come back to center, rolling out through the shoulders a bit more. And we're going to bring the feet out of that position. We're going to come over onto all fours. And as we get settled here in our tabletop position, knowing what we need to support our bodies, maybe we need a little cushioning underneath the knees. I would recommend that. You can take a folded towel or blanket, whatever you've got. And we're just going to wiggle a little bit from side to side in the hips. So as you move your hips one way, turn your head in that direction. Come back to center. And flow with the breath, inhaling, centering, exhaling, tilting your hips to the side. Do that for 2 more breaths. Right, coming back to center and doing a little bit of more of a circle movement with your hips now. You can widen out through your knees a little bit more. Loosening up all the muscles through your back. Moving in the opposite direction. You can start with a slower, smaller circle. And gradually moving wider and wider through your hips. And you can try sliding your hips all the way back, lowering your head down for a moment. Taking a breath or two here. With your arms reaching out, straight out in front of you. Come up onto your hands and come into the plank for a moment. So the plank is, we can do this from the knees, trying to create that straight line from the knees, hips, shoulders, top of the head. And as you exhale, we'll go back. And then inhale again, come forward. And exhale again, go back. We'll do this one more time. Moving with your breath, that's it. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back to center. So we're going to slide those hands underneath the shoulders again. So we're more in that table pose. This time arching your spine, lifting your belly. And as you inhale, look forward. And we'll do this 2 more times. It's a wonderful opening for your spine. It really helps to create more have a healthy spinal positioning and movement. And coming back to center, we're going to give our wrists a break here. We're going to come up to the kneeling position. Again, you want to pad your knees if you feel like your knees need that. And we're going to do a few circles through the wrists. And we're going to take one arm straight out, palm facing forward, our palms up, and then I'm going to push the fingers gently back with the other hand. Holding for 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to switch. We're going to bring the other hand forward, pressing gently on the fingers with your other hand. And then we'll slowly release that. We're going to come back to the mat for a moment. We're going to come into a bit of a plank. And this time, if you want to come right up into your downward facing dog. And bring your feet where they're most comfortable here. More important than pressing your heels down is lifting up off those wrists, reaching through your hips, pulling them up and back. And you can walk your legs out here from side to side if your ankles, calves are really tight. It's really nice. Keep opening and lengthening here. One more breath. And then on your next exhale, release. We'll look forward, coming to a bit of a plank, maybe even a slight upward facing dog, lifting through your chin. And then coming back to center, we're going to walk the hands in, come back to a kneeling position. And this time I'm going to turn sideways on my mat so you can see my positioning better. We're going to bring the left leg out to the side. Okay, you can lift up through that left foot for a moment. Flex here, bring the toes in, and then plant the foot down. Toes pointing out directly to the side here. And then lifting the toes back up, bringing the foot in, and then planting your toes down. Now for this positioning, I like to position my foot forward. You decide what feels best for your hips, what helps to keep them open. When you're ready, you can reach your right arm up and find a lot of opening and stretch and length through that right side here as you come over slightly. Breathing in and out here. And on your next exhale, come down, and we're going to do a bit of the side plank. So we're balancing here. I'm just on my fingertips. You can use a block if you need to. Reaching your other arm straight up. If you want to come into a strengthening position, you can bring that foot off the floor. Bring it right over your head with that arm. And then reach towards the right side with your arm and bring both arms straight up. All right, before we switch sides, we're gonna release that. I'm gonna bring the left leg in, and I'm just gonna position the knee in line with the side of my body, the foot in line too, and just gently press here into the inside of the knee for a moment. Good. Again, if you'd like, you can reach that right arm up, come straight up here. Holding for one more breath. And then slowly release. And bring that leg forward and do a bit of a lunge. So if you want to come forward, and just balance here. Right foot or left foot forward, I should say, and just feeling that movement. I'm going back and forth a few times. and opening the hips. This time when I come back with the hips, reaching the arms straight up, and then I'm going to sink into the lunge. The knee doesn't go past the toes. Stays pretty much in line with your ankle, maybe a little bit past. Balancing here. I'm going to come up onto my back foot for a moment and then step forward, standing forward bend. Planting your feet when you're ready, slowly rising up. And then exhale, slowly coming down again into your forward bend. Kind of step back through the left foot, bring the knee down. I'm going to bring my right foot back, knee down, come up into that kneeling position again, this time with the right leg out to the side. I'm going to lift through the toes here. So if you can see, my foot's lifted, toes pointing up, my legs in line, leg and foot in line with my hip. Bringing the toes in and then planting the toes down. Again, use up something underneath your knee because we've been on the knees for a bit today. You want to cushion them as much as you can. Good. And then we'll slowly bring that other arm up. And you can position your foot however you like. Could be any variation. Breathing here. Wonderful pose to create a lot of opening in your back, side, body, front. Feel that. And on your next exhalation, come over. We're going to come into the side plank. And we're going to lift that foot up a little bit, reach the other arm. Reaching that arm straight up over your head. And then bringing it down. And once you come to the center, bring both arms straight up. Good. We're going to release. I'm going to bring this leg in. I'm going to align the foot and knee with my side of my body here, pressing gently, stretching through the inner thigh. And then we're going to bring that leg out in front. If you prefer, you can always come onto your mat if you're off your mat like I was. And we're going to come up and move a little bit through the hips. So we're just opening them up in this position, kind of rocking back and forth. Okay, this time as you come back, reach through your arms and exhale, sink down if it feels good. Coming into a deeper lunge. You can use support underneath your hands if you need to. And this time coming up onto your back foot, pressing back. And we're going to step the back foot forward in a standing forward bend for a moment. And from here, starting to rise up, bending your knees, planting your feet, reaching through your arms. Good. Keep reaching, opening. Arms can go back slightly. Yeah, and the chest lifts. You can bend your knees and just plant your feet. And just make sure that you're engaging your core. If you were to do a bit of a standing back bend, we want to kind of push a little bit through the inner thighs without bringing the knees in. It's just to activate. So press your feet down like you're squeezing on a ball between your thighs and bring your arms up and back. Should feel good, remember, and then release. Bring your hands together and we're going to sink down in a bit of a chair. Good. Take a few more breaths here. And from chair, we'll release, and we're going to widen out through the arms and legs. Okay, in the star. Good. Try not to have your feet rolling in like this. Roll out. Good. We're going to turn the feet out and this time come into a standing squat. Elbows come right in towards the sides. And releasing, reaching out, opening through your arms, your chest. Taking up lots of space and then coming back down. Good. From here, opening through your arms. This time we're going to pivot the feet. I'm going to turn my left foot straight towards the edge of the mat and bring the right foot in slightly. And I'm going to start to bend. Bend the left knee, come down into warrior two. Planting your feet, feeling strong, graceful. Understanding for a moment as you hold here what this is invoking in your body. It's the warrior, the spiritual warrior. Okay. And that can mean many different things. We'll come into the reverse warrior. For today, maybe what kind of strength do you need to get through your life right now? What are you pulling from? I'll come over, bringing that other arm up into side angle. And we'll reach right through. Pausing here for a moment. And then when we decide to come back, coming back to warrior two, and we're going to reach both hands straight up. We're going to pivot the feet now so that they're facing forward in line with the rest of the body. We're going to slowly come down into a wide-legged forward bend. Let your head drop. Good. Again, try not to have the inner arch of your foot rolling in or your knees rolling in. You want to come back to center your feet. And then plant your feet, bend your knees slightly, and we're going to come up. Get back to star. From here, we're going to turn the right foot out to the side, back foot in slightly, come into your warrior. Tapping into that inner strength, that strong inner center for whatever kind of support you need. It's there. We just have to sometimes pull it out. We have to ask for help when we need it. And then releasing the back arm, the left arm, reaching up. Holding for one more breath. And then as you exhale, we'll come over into side angle, reaching that arm straight up, and then align it with the side of your body. We're going to come back to warrior two. Straightening through your legs or turning them to face forward. You're going to reach back through the arms and see if you can, as you pull your arms back, see if you can connect your hands right together. Softening the shoulders a little bit here. So we don't want to pull the shoulders too far back. We're just reaching through the arms. And from here, we're going to come over halfway or maybe almost all the way down, reaching the arms straight up. Soften the shoulders, soften the front of your shoulders forward a bit. Reaching through your arms. Holding for one more breath. And then plant your feet, bend your knees slightly, slowly come back up, releasing. Good. And rolling your shoulders out. We're gonna bring those feet closer together, standing tall and strong in the mountain pose. Feel your legs, soften your knees, soften the joints, allow them to soften and open. Standing firmly on the soles of your feet, right at all those points. Center of the heel, balance there. Base of the big toe, base of the little toe. Just finding where it feels like a stable foundation, a balanced foundation from side to side. Oh, keeping the hips open, the pelvis aligned again. So there's no tightness, no clenching anywhere. Just aligning bone to help the muscles to release a little bit. They're a little toned, but they're not clenching, they're not tightening. That's where a bit of that chronic stress can come from, is when our muscles are having to hold our body a certain way that's not in the most optimal positioning or natural positioning. So we're gonna try to do that consciously in our mountain, finding alignment to the best of our ability to help everything feel more free. This time, as you inhale, reach your arms straight up. As you exhale, we're going to come down, Qigong movement, bending the knees, connecting to the earth, reaching up as you inhale, and then down again as you exhale. Do this 2 more times. Good. Inhale, widen out through your arms. We're going to do one more standing pose, eagle. We'll bring the right arm on top of the left. Feeling that space through the upper back. It's so nice to open that space. And still standing up nice and tall, aligning your head, the crown of your head with the root of your pelvis. We'll bring the arms up into eagle arms here. Maybe this is that stretch that your shoulders really need today. You can also come into the chair here. Or for a variation, we'll do a bit of a warrior one pose. So I'm bringing my left leg forward, right leg back. Plant into that back heel. You can lift up slightly and then plant it down. And for one more breath, we're going to lift through that back leg or right leg and bring it around to the front. And try to balance here for a moment. Might be a little bit tricky. I'm just bringing my right leg on top of the left thigh with the left knee bent slightly. And then slowly release. Good. And let go of those arms. Reach them up. And release them back. Opening sideways and back. And then when you come around, the left arm on top. Rest in your upper back. Let's sink into the chair. Let's bring those arms up into eagle arms. And then step your left foot back into warrior one legs. Lift through your back heel. Plant it down. Strong through that back leg. Before we release, we're gonna bring all the weight to the front foot, lift up the back foot. Just take a moment to see if you can find your balance here. And then you can bend your right knee and find balance here for a moment. Okay, if you feel a little bit shaky, it's just your body finding the center, strengthening here through the legs. One more breath. And then release the legs. We're going to slowly release the arms, reach them up, and let them flow down. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. One more breath like that. Exhale, sink. Good. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out, we're going to flow right down. Breathing in, coming up halfway, breathing out, sending your right hand to your lower back. You can keep your left hand here. You can support it on a block, or you can even reach over towards your right side. Try not to take your hips into the twist. Try to keep them centered. Next time you inhale, we're going to slowly release back up. And as you exhale, we'll twist to the other side. You can start with the hands centered. Find your position here. When you're ready, you could try reaching towards your foot without letting the hips twist. And then we'll slowly release, bending the knees, planting through the feet, coming back up. And releasing down. Releasing, bringing the hands together. Let's slowly inch the feet together. For a mountain, we'll just take a few moments here, helping the body to, as in the pause, to integrate. And we're going to make our way down to the mat. Come down, have anything you need for ending up here in Shavasana. If you'd like, you can bring the soles of your feet together, knees wider apart. I'm going to start to come back onto the hands, onto the elbows, and just resting on the lower back, the sacral area. Okay, and then when I'm coming right down, I'm going to come down from the lower back to the mid back, right through the shoulders and head, and keeping the knees wide for a moment. You could always support the legs if there's too much of a stretch here. It feels like you're moving too deeply into it. You can support the legs, helping them to soften and gently open. When you want to come out of this one, you can gently press your hands to the outsides of your legs, pushing your legs back together, and we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest. Pausing here for a few breaths, you might notice how your body moves with your breath. As you inhale, knees away, exhale, knees back. We'll do that a couple more times. It's a very subtle movement. And then you can plant your feet right down. Reach your arms down towards your feet. Bring your feet closer in, hip distance apart, really plant down. So sometimes what I like to do actually for a variation, if you have a prop, I like to put a block under, actually probably 2 blocks if you have. You could probably use 1, but put blocks underneath your feet for a different experience here in the bridge. We're going to lift up, bring the feet, the ankles so they line up underneath the knees. I know it's tricky to know where that is, but it'll feel right for you. Coming onto the shoulders, onto the back of the head. Like you're gently squeezing a ball between your thighs. Stay here for one more breath. And then slowly come down. You can release those blocks to the side. Bring your arms out to the sides. And then just start to shift a little bit with your legs, side to side movement. In this one, you can have your feet closer together. You can have your feet really wide apart. Noticing how that feels. You can also turn your head gently to the opposite side that your legs are going to. Move on flow, breathing in and breathing out to move into your position. Breathing in, centering. Breathing out into the twist. And then this time, inhaling back to center. You might want to bring those legs right together. You could even lift your feet off the floor a little bit and start to drop them a little bit in this position from side to side. You don't have to go too far. This is a bit more of a core strengthener, an abdominal strengthener here. And if you want to now just take your legs all the way down to one side, you can put something between your knees, keep that opposite shoulder down. Turn your head that way in the opposite direction. Breath. So stay here for 2 more breaths. And then bring your knees in. You might decide to lift your feet off the floor or not to bring your knees back to center. When you're ready, we are going to drop them over to the other side. It's nice to use support between your legs. That'll help your hips to just really soften and release. Softening your jaw to anywhere where you feel there might be a bit of holding, help your body to release. Slowing down your breathing, creating a steady flow in and out. And when you're ready, you can bring those knees back to center. We're going to drop the left foot down, bring the right ankle onto the front of the left thigh. You can bring your hands behind your left knee if that feels good. Also lift your left leg straight up in the air, pulling up through the heel. And then releasing back down. Bring that right knee straight in towards your chest. And then release the foot down. Switch and do the opposite. Bring the left knee in towards the chest and then knee out to the side, ankle on the thigh. If you need to pause here a little bit longer, just take your left hand into your leg, gently press. If you're ready, you can bring your hands behind your right knee, lifting your right foot in, knee in towards your chest. On the left side, you're gently pressing into that left leg with your elbow if it's there. You can lift your right leg straight up, reaching out through the heel. Breath. And then releasing your foot back down. We'll bring the left knee in. Let's bring both knees in, widening the knees apart, reaching for your ankles or feet, and we'll come into happy baby pose. If you want to even reach or bring your first two fingers around your big toes, you can try that hold too. Rock a little bit. And stretch out through one leg for a moment. Stretch out through the other leg. You can alternate a few more times. You can bring the other foot down a little bit, reach out. Any hold that works for on your legs here. I'll alternate two more times. And then bring the feet back together, knees wide. And then release. Release both feet down to the floor. And we're ready for Shavasana. So if you want to support your body anywhere or cover up with a blanket, you do that now. And just let go. For a few moments here, just rest your body. You can widen out through your legs a bit more, widen out through your arms, palms facing up. If you need to, you can rock your head from side to side, finding that central position as you come back. Softening. Mindfully releasing any tension in your face, your jaw. Allow your teeth to come apart. Lips soften. Tongue softens at the roof of your mouth. Let the weight of your head sink down. The same thing with your backs of your shoulders, arms sinking. Let your hands soften, your fingers soften. And feel through your upper body, your chest, your belly. Feel through your back. Let your hips sink down. Feel those connection points that are supported by the mat. Let them deepen. Legs, feet. Feel through the soles of your feet. Feel the toes on the right side and the left. Bring more awareness to the right side of your whole body. And then we'll bring your attention to the left side. Feel both sides at the same time. for a few moments, go right to the core of your torso. Start at the root, then up towards the belly. From the belly to the middle, right through the core, center, right to the center of your upper chest. The throat, middle of your throat. To the center of your head. Crown of your head. And then just take your awareness above your head. Take your awareness and imagine this light shining down, almost like a flashlight shining its beam down from the top of the head, and this light surrounds your entire body. Feel your whole body encased, surrounded by light. You can picture it as any color you want. We're surrounded by healing light from the highest source, the highest frequencies. Allow your whole body to dissolve any tension, any stress, any pain, dissolving into that light. Might start to feel your light body become more activated. You might feel vibrations, tingling, sensations, warmth, or even cold sometimes. Or just a general sense of well-being, peace. All of the above. When you're ready, you can start to wiggle a little bit more through your toes and your fingers. Maybe connecting your hands together right over your head, stretching through your whole body. Pointing your toes. And bringing your arms down. You can rest them anywhere on your belly. Maybe one on your belly, one on your heart. Feeling your breath move through. Feeling your breath move through your whole body. And just reflecting on your experience today. Take a moment to really honor your body for all the miraculous functions that it does every day. It is quite amazing how our body's always taking care of us. How we can take care of our body, take care of ourselves. So you can roll over onto your side, stay there for a few breaths. You want to come up slowly, not rushing. And then, when you're ready, don't let me rush you if you're not ready. Stay longer. in any position, even perhaps after coming out, you feel you have time and you feel ready to do a little bit more of a meditation. I find it's a lot easier to stay focused for a meditation afterwards when you're feeling so connected to your body and to your breath. You can bring your hands together whenever you're ready. But if you, again, if you want to continue, feel free. I'll leave you here though. Namaste. And I hope you have a beautiful day. See you again soon.